Jordan Crawford dunked on LeBron James.
He sets the record straight on what really happened.
You'll never see it. LeBron took a beating yesterday for allegedly having the tapes confiscated by a Nike representative.
Now LeBron is literally turning into a Nike puppet.
Jordan, take us to the play. Tell us what happened.
I was on the right wing.
I came down the middle, and he just happened to be there.
And I drove down the middle past Danny Green, and LeBron was waiting under the rim. Then I dunked it.
If you do my ratio from me getting dunked on and me dunking on people, I think you can times mine by like 50.
I was geeked about it.
Is that kind of like a thing you'll take with you when you go back to school?
Oh yeah, that'll be the first thing I talk about.
So what's up guys, Mike here, and first off, I hope everyone is staying safe. Quarantining is not easy, trust me, I know, but it's definitely the best thing for now. With that said, while you are quarantined, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, which is a story about the time LeBron James had a video of him getting dunked on confiscated, and basically LeBron and Nike teamed up to not let anyone see it. So if you do enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like, it helps out a ton. Thank you again, stay safe, and for now, let's jump into the video. In June of 2009, a young LeBron James was on top of the world. James had just led the Cavaliers to the NBA Finals 2 years ago as a 22-year-old, and now, at the age of 24, his popularity was only on the rise. Because although the Cavs did not make the finals in 2009, one ESPN analyst referred to LeBron's 2009 season at the time as, quote, the greatest individual season in history. But that summer, a scandal would erupt. During a scrimmage, a play that was deemed so embarrassing and hurtful to LeBron's reputation would occur, and because of this, the footage of this play would be confiscated and hidden. And so, for 1 month in the summer of 2009, the discussion of LeBron James turned away from his stellar on the court play to this one specific play. And so we have to ask the question, what could possibly have happened during this play to damage LeBron's reputation that badly, and how was this footage actually hidden? Well, before we can get into that, we are going to take a step back, and now we are at the end of the 2009 Eastern Conference Finals, a series that did see the Magic take down the Cavaliers, but despite this, LeBron was officially a global superstar. In this series against the Magic, he averaged 38.5 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, and 8 assists a night. This series would not be without controversy, however, as LeBron refused to shake hands with the Magic after a Game 6 defeat, and this did cause some criticism at the time. And that is something that Nike, LeBron's shoe company, did not want at all. Because LeBron was now a global superstar, his image was now incredibly important, and so anything that could possibly damage that image had to go, which means at this point in the story, we are now going to introduce the other character, Jordan Crawford. Because despite the fact that Jordan Crawford would go on to play in the NBA for multiple seasons and was a first-round pick just 1 year later, during the summer of 2009, Jordan Crawford was basically a complete unknown. In the high school class of 2007, Crawford was an unranked 3-star prospect, and yes, he did commit to Indiana University, where he did have a pretty good freshman season, but then Indiana's head coach had a scandal, which meant Crawford wanted to transfer, and so during the 2009 season, a lot of people completely forgot about him. This meant that in the summer of 2009, Jordan Crawford was a little-known name among casual NBA fans. Despite this, Jordan would catch a break when he was invited to the Deron Williams Skills Academy alongside the likes of future NBA players such as Isaiah Thomas and Iman Shumpert. Crawford would play well enough at this camp to catch an enormous break, and that was an invitation to the LeBron James Skills Academy shortly after. This was a big moment for Jordan, as the hard work he was putting in was finally starting to pay off, and once Jordan got there, the talk of the camp was that LeBron was going to bring in a bunch of NBA guys, and little did Jordan Crawford know what that would turn into, because on a warm summer July evening, the rumors would become true. LeBron was going to run a scrimmage against some of the top college players in the country, while LeBron's team consisted of teammates Danny Green, Terrence Kinsey, Christian Nyenga, as well as his St. Vincent St. Mary's teammate Romeo Travis. Meanwhile, the other team consisted of Jordan Crawford, Cole Aldridge, Malcolm Delaney, Deshaun Sims, and Patrick Christopher. It was just a few minutes into this 1-to-7 scrimmage when Jordan Crawford had the ball and Yes, as you just saw, Jordan Crawford would dunk on LeBron James, a play that left everybody watching stunned. And obviously, as you can see by the video that was just shown, this play was caught on camera. But before we keep going, guys, I want to say thank you to Harry's for sponsoring today's video. Now, I'm sure you, like me, have found yourself in a position where you have to buy overpriced blades at the store or end up using poor quality blades that end up irritating your skin. Harry's, a personal care brand, is reinventing the way you shave. Now, Harry's founders, Jeff and Andy, were tired of paying for overpriced razors, so they raised money and started their own brand. And if you look right here, Harry's actually gave me a box that includes their starter set. Now, my favorite thing about Harry's is that they are a premium quality razor, and refills on blades are extremely cheap. I'm talking only $2. Refills are sent directly to your door. That means no more having to go to the store, which is awesome. So with that said, you can go and get yourself a trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/Corzemba. You'll be getting everything you need for a great shave, and you'll be supporting my channel by signing up. That is my personal link, and that link will be in the description. Trust me, guys, Harry's is a great brand. Go to harrys.com/Corzemba. Go redeem your offer. Go get a $3 trial kit and join the 10 million people who have already tried Harry's. However, back when this happened, this play was immediately hidden from the public. It is here where we introduce Ryan Miller. Miller was a recent graduate of Syracuse and just happened to be in the building for this scrimmage with a camera, and he filmed the dunk. What happened after this dunk is where the drama begins. Miller stated that LeBron called Nike senior director Lynn Merritt over to his direction, and it was at this point where Miller's tape and everyone in the building's footage was confiscated. Ryan Miller had his own view at the time as to why this situation occurred, as he recalled, quote, "There's nothing I can think of besides LeBron just not wanting it online. It's a good story to tell people, I guess, but then again, I'm kind of pissed. I lost my tape," which is kind of crazy because it was just a single play in a single scrimmage. But at this point, we are going to put into perspective just how important LeBron James was to Nike at this time. Because in 2003, before he had ever entered the NBA, LeBron signed with Nike for $90 million after turning down Reebok, who actually offered him $100 million. This decision definitely worked out long term, as due to the fact that LeBron became a superstar, he helped improve Nike's brand even more, and years later in 2015, he would sign a lifetime contract with Nike where it is reported that LeBron would make over $1 billion for the duration of that contract. And again, it was at the time of this dunk where LeBron had really turned the corner from elite NBA player to global phenom. The LeBron 7s would be released later that year and would eventually be referred to as a shoe that helped his signature brand take a giant leap. Because as you can see, in 2009, Nike made over $4 billion in revenue off of footwear alone, and it has been reported that LeBron was responsible for a good chunk of this revenue. So of course, this means that at the time, LeBron was basically Nike's priority number one. As for Jordan Crawford, well, he had no idea of the impact of his dunk at the time. He thought it was a cool play, but said, "I didn't think it was a big deal until I got back to my room that night and people who weren't even there were already hitting me on my phone." Word of this dunk quickly spread through text, as Twitter was in its infant stages. And honestly, if Twitter had been around at the time, this play likely would have spread more quickly, and maybe the footage would have been leaked, but instead, because social media was in its early beginnings, these tapes were able to be confiscated, and at the time, the footage was completely hidden. I cannot emphasize this enough. At the time of this dunk, nobody except the people that were actually in the building watched Jordan Crawford dunk on LeBron. That is how serious Nike took this, and that is how easy at the time it was to confiscate footage like this. And soon after this dunk, other NBA stars would join in on their takes on the scandal. One example being Kobe Bryant, who promised his middle school aged campers that none of them would be dunking on him anytime soon. It was at this point that Jordan Crawford's dunk seemed to gain almost a mythical status, as many people believed that he had completely demolished LeBron James. I mean, again, both LeBron and Nike thought this dunk was going to hurt LeBron's image so badly that they tried to completely sweep this under the rug. Of course, this did not work, and many people wanted to see the tape, and finally, Luckily, the drama would end on July 22nd, 2009, when Nike did send the videos back to everyone who had recorded the dunk, and TMZ would officially show the footage. And if we're being honest, although this was a nasty dunk, if the footage had been released originally, then this probably would not have been a big deal, especially considering the fact that the news of this dunk did blow over rather quickly after this video was released. However, because of LeBron and Nike's actions, this dunk was viewed by a lot more people than it would have been. As for what LeBron had to say about the situation at the time,
Well, it's a play that happens in the game of basketball a lot. You know, Jordan is a really good player.
LeBron then had this to say:
If you do my ratio from me getting dunked on and me dunking on people, you know, I think you can times mine by like 50.
which sounds great, but of course begs the question, if that was really LeBron's attitude, why would he try to hide the tape? Moving on though, looking at Jordan Crawford, he would go on to star at Xavier and lead his team to the Sweet 16 in the 2010 NCAA tournament when he hit this insane game-tying shot versus Kansas State.
11 to go. Holloway kicks it out. Crawford 8. Crawford's got to hurry. Up. Oh, no.
And although Xavier would lose this game, the success would continue for Crawford as he was now on the national radar and became the 27th overall pick in the 2010 draft. He also would prove to be a decent scorer at the NBA level as he averaged 14.7 points per game during the 2012 season for the Wizards, although after 2014, he would only play 24 more games in the NBA and has played mostly overseas since then. As for what Crawford remembers distinctly about dunking on LeBron, well, earlier in the day during that camp, Nike reps joked with the college players that anybody who dunked on LeBron would receive $500. As Jordan remembers years later, they never gave me my $500. And so there we have it, guys. Thank you for watching today's video, and if you did enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like. It does help out a ton. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video, and make sure to turn post notifications on. That way you're notified whenever I upload a video. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You're awesome. We all know it. On top of that, make sure to stay safe, guys, and cue that music.